Alright, so this video is part 1 of this new weekly series of me trying to catch my first muskrat ever. I'm probably going to be trapping some other animals during this video series, like otter and raccoon, which I've only caught one otter before, but I really want another hide. But the main objective in this video is for me to catch my first muskrat ever. So I'm going to be setting traps, tweaking them, trying to figure out what makes me catch a muskrat for the first time. So I'm going to get to setting traps over here, so let's get to it.
But I know I heard you call it in the green.
Alright, so my traps are actually on my back, but I threw some of my supplies down here, so I didn't have to carry them. So I'm going to be setting a bunch of different trap sets. Like one is where you stake a stake in the ground, and I have a certain bracket that will attach my trap to the stake, and then I'm going to have like bait up here, so they're going to stand on my trap, and I'm going to catch them. I have that like PVC pipe over there for another trap set, which I'll talk about it here in a second once I'm setting it. But as for now, I need to try to figure out where I want to set this trap. Alright, so here's the product of this set. I have my lure right there wedged in this bait holder, and this carrot right here on the bait holder for bait. Well, that's obvious. But I just chose carrot just because I hear it works pretty good. And my trap's down there, and you can see how it's wedged in that bracket. It's pretty cool. But how this trap set's supposed to work is the muskrat smell the lure, and they come down the creek or even from up that ditch. When they swim over here, they want that bait, so they stand on the trap to get the bait. And when they jump after the trap goes off, they're supposed to fall down there and drown, and you come and they're already taken care of, so you don't have to puncture the hide when you need a boom. So after I get all these traps set, like that PVC pipe over there, I'll probably do another one of these sets down there by that brush. I'm gonna briefly tell y'all what happened to that video I worked on 2 months trying to make and edit and everything, and what happened to it. So as for now, I need to try to set this trap. For this trap set, it's gonna be the Hag's bracket. Well, that's the name of that bracket you used over there. But it's gonna be wired to this PVC pipe, and this PVC pipe's gonna be like going probably like out of the water like that. And I'm probably gonna have like beaver caster at that end. So hopefully the muskrats, when they're coming down, they go up that pipe and get caught right there at the opening. Because beaver caster just attracts every animal. So it's pretty good. This is my beaver caster I've harvested from beavers. Alright, so I have this trap set. So it's hooked up, like that ring is on this stick. I don't think this is deep enough to, like drown the muskrat. But I'll be able, dispatch them once I come down. But I have the trap right there on that bracket. It's not as far away from the pipe as I would like, but I don't really know how to fix that. It's kind of on a steep angle. Well, it is on a steep angle, but I still think I could catch him when he's trying to go up there. I have this whole thing covered in grass to kind of make it seem more natural. Then I have beaver caster, like I cut a piece off of it, and I have it in here. But I stuffed a bunch of grass in this opening, so hopefully he doesn't try going this way. Even if he does, he could just walk all the way down and get caught on his way out. But I think this location is good in traps, so I'm going to go set some traps over by the beaver swamp. But I'm limited on those type of sets because I only have 3 of those stakes. Because I need to go get more, but I just haven't had a chance to yet. So I'm probably going to set those other 2 stakes at the beaver swamp, maybe a few more of those sets. And I'm going to set some otter traps there. Because this creek I don't really think has otter, but it may. So catch y'all guys back once I'm going over to the beaver swamp. Alright, I almost forgot to do this, but I'm going to set some raccoon traps. I'm going to set this one by this tree. Then I have a cage trap that I haven't used yet. It's actually brand new. And, well, I just bought it at Bass Pro. But it's a new type of cage trap that I haven't tried before. It's like the setting mechanism is different, the locking mechanism. But I don't know. I'm just excited to see it, but it's more expensive. Like, I don't know why it's more expensive, but it's just a normal cage trap. So it shouldn't be as much as it was, but we'll see. But right now I'm going to set just a simple dog proof, which these are like 15 bucks a piece. So these are pretty cheap, and they always seem to work. So I have mine rigged up with wire. Seems like a popular way to do it, but I just really like the efficiency because it's super easy to set up. In this video, I'll probably check the traps at least one day, but next week I'll probably show like every single day of me checking, because next week I have like 7 days till I need to post. But today, I have 3 days till I need to post this video. So, probably only going to show one check day, so I'll have time to edit this video. So, gonna set that dog proof right there. And I just made myself some, well, not for me to eat, but dog food with like tuna mixed in. So, let's see. Can't ever put too much bait in when it's dog proof, but kind of want to save a little bait. There, have some on the outside for a little teaser. So it should be good all around this tree. And I really like using trees that split because there's less of a chance of a coon like escaping by just climbing all the way up. I mean, well, I kind of said that wrong. I like trees that have a low split so the coons won't climb all the way up. All right, now I'm going to set that cage trap. I'm probably going to set it on that side of the bridge. All right, so right behind me is the creek. So, and right here is just kind of where like the big brushy grass kind of stops. I think this is where we bush hog. So I was just going to set my trap here because it seemed easier to place it here so the grass wasn't having too much resistance on the bottom of the cage. Because you don't want the trap to be sitting on a bunch of fluffy grass because then when the coon steps or whatever I'm going to trap in here, then it kind of squishes and it makes them feel uncomfortable. So you kind of want it on good firm foundation, but I still kind of want grass at the bottom of it because the grass can come up and weave through those little squares and kind of make it feel more natural. But I'm going to probably set some more grass on top of it because it's supposed to snow and I don't want snow on the inside of this trap. Don't want it to be too cold. Let's see. This trap, the squares back here are a little thinner, so you know the coon can't reach all the way in there and steal the bait. But it also hurts me because I'm trying to put bait back here and usually go through the top. I'll just do this. So this trap mechanism's on the inside, and that seems to be a little good because I mean, when transportation, I'm not getting it hung on stuff, but it's. I'll show y'all how the mechanism works after I finish baiting it up, but it's pretty different. And this, it has rings down here that slide down when the door closes to keep it from opening. Oh! I don't know. That's a bamboo thing. Well, I think it's cane. Yeah, you call it cane. That stabbed into my leg right then. All right, I'm going to show y'all how this works. So when the trap gets set off back here, it pulls that piece of metal, which rotates this, and it goes all the way down here, and it rotates it to where it's no longer. Wait, hold up. I'm trying to think this through. Wait, hold on. I forgot. Oh, I see. Okay, it's that piece of metal right here, and it rotates it down, so this door has nothing to hang on to, and it slams shut, and these rings fall down, and it can't open. But the only problem is if it tips over, the animal can escape. But I don't know. You can also release them easier that way. So I'm gonna finish, putting grass on and stuff on top of it. Then I'm gonna show it to y'all one last time, and then I'm gonna go over to the beaver swamp, set some otter traps, and set some muskrat traps. Boom! Here it is. It looks really good how that grass is all over it. I have it all surrounded with grass. You can't hardly see the trap. I mean, well, you can't really see the trap at all until you come over here. Then on the inside, I have a little bit of grass over the mesh. You can see right there, so hopefully it feels a little more like the outside. Then I have that dog food in the very back mixed with tuna. So this trap could probably catch a raccoon, a possum, or a skunk. All right, so I'm going to go to the beaver swamp now. But also, I just want to tell y'all this if y'all don't know. I'm also going to have a short series where I post a short every day of me trying to check and set some bobcat traps. So I'm probably also going to set like a coyote, aka like also a bobcat trap set, probably somewhere over here. Because I've also seen like a fox and a groundhog travel over here. Well, I had them on camera. I didn't see them in person. So y'all better stay tuned for that if y'all also like bobcat and fox trapping, because that series is supposed to be really cool too. I'm hiking down the hill right now. I have all those traps on my back and my stakes and pipe. I really hope I get to set a few traps and I don't have to carry these back up. All right, I'm taking a break right now because I just reached the first creek. This is usually where I always cross, but I just want to tell y'all a little behind the scenes. Well, not really behind the scenes, kind of like a story of what happened. One of the first times I was filming a video, and one of the first times I came down here to the beaver swamp. So I was setting out traps, and my sister was my cameraman at that time, and I was trying to tell her how to walk across this log safely. So I said, this is how you walk across this log. I said, first you hold on to this, and you be confident because you're not going to fall. Then right here, I fell in. My leg at least slipped right there, and this creek was full. That's deeper than my mouth. that stick went in my mouth. Anyway, just now, not in that story. But my foot slipped. I was still on this log, and the water was up to about right here. So yeah, my leg got a little wet, but it wasn't too cold. I mean, it was winter, but I wasn't too bad cold. I went on to setting traps that day. At least I think I did. I think. I can't remember fully what happened that day. But along this creek right here, I'm going to set some traps out because there was an otter that I caught here last year, which was the only otter I've ever caught. I really want another pelt since that one got ruined because my freezer went out, and that pelt was just really nice. So as I'm setting this trap, I'll tell y'all what happened to that deer hunting video that, I worked for 2 months on. So what happened on it was, I was hunting all deer season long, and then I eventually had to quit because I didn't get anything, which I'll explain why I didn't get anything here in a second. But after I finished editing it, which took, I don't know how many hours, but it took me a really long time. I guess it'd be like 7 total hours, because it took a bunch of evenings, like Sunday evening, Monday evening, or, just it took a long time to edit all that. Well, YouTube gave me a strike on it because apparently I was too young. I was doing dangerous stuff, which I wasn't. It was just deer hunting, but apparently they gave me strikes on that because I posted 3 deer hunting videos and they gave me a strike on 2. So that was one of the 2. But I was just really thinking I could get around a strike if I didn't show my face in the same frame as a gun. So, well, they still gave me a strike on it. And I was in like the Sasquatch costume and stuff. It's pretty funny, but it was one of my favorite videos. Well, it's probably my favorite video I ever made, just because how funny it was, and I had a bunch of cool transitions that I really worked hard on. Alright, I'm gonna set this trap. Alright, I have the trap tied around that tree, well, that rope that's attached to that trap, and have everything situated right here. I think it's a pretty good trap set. So I'm gonna move on and set my next otter trap. Alright, I'm gonna set my next otter trap right here under this log because the creek forks down there and it forks down there. This is a different creek than that one I just set a trap on, but I'm probably gonna set my muskrat traps right along this creek, so I decided right here would probably be a good place just because those 2 forks and it's on my way to check traps. So I think this would be really good. I'm really gonna try to make it look really natural right here. Like, I'm just gonna put a lot of time and effort into this one spot just because I think it's so good if there's still otter in here. Because I just wouldn't have told you that there was otter in that lake in this beaver swamp if I wouldn't have caught that otter. Because I would never think that otter would be living in the woods and in that lake. I just never seen an otter before in that lake, and from my understanding, I didn't think they lived in woods. I didn't think beavers lived in the woods. But till I saw this place, I was like, huh, well, I see a bunch of beaver chop down trees, and I caught a ton of beaver in here last year. That's pretty cool. So, I don't know when they, well, I do know when they made this home here. Because my great-grandfather tried trapping beavers in here when they first made this lake. Because that lake was a man-made lake. So, but it's also confusing because when did the beavers get here if that was a man-made lake? I don't know. Did they just travel miles on foot trying to find water? I don't know. We also have a pond on like the highest point in our farm that I wonder if that was man-made, because ponds don't usually occur on the highest point on a piece of land. So I don't know what that's all about. But I'm gonna get set in this trap. I keep yapping. So back there is where I have my otter trap, and I set my muskrat trap right here at this fork. So I have the carrot, above the trap, and my lure still on there. I have it the same way I set that other trap I showed y'all. Then, this creek goes down to that beaver lodge, which I'm going to check and see and make sure the beavers haven't rebuilt it since I tore apart the roof. Because I did that just to make sure that they aren't still living there. But I think I did that, maybe it was December of last year. But I don't really remember when I did. Well, actually, not last year, 2 years ago. Well, last trapping season. I think I did in December of 2024, and now it's January of 2026. So, I think, yeah. Well, I have my lure right there on that piece of grass. Or, no, that's a tree limb or whatever. So I really like that set. I think it's going to be really effective. Then my other trap is down there along the creek that, I set that otter trap. That first otter trap I set when I was coming in. Well, I'm gonna carry all my stuff out and show y'all that trap after I check this beaver lodge. But right now, I'm really curious to see what the beavers have done over there. All right, so I'm out here by the beaver lodge now. Gonna jump over that tree. So yeah, they haven't rebuilt the reef yet. I can still see down in there. Kind of looks like it's starting to collapse. Boom! I just off this. Yeah, man, this is one awesome place to trap. I think it's, yeah, I trapped my beaver right there and right there. Those were like the two huge beavers I caught down here. They're probably the oldest beavers I ever caught. I don't know how to age beavers, but those hides were giant. I really wish I had those tan, but when my otter hide got ruined, those were in the freezer too, and they got ruined. Along with a bunch of beaver pelts. Well, like every single beaver pelt I caught that year was in that freezer. And it had some coyote hides and raccoon hides, but those I weren't worried about as much because I catch those more often. But I think I totaled my total coyote count of the ones I've trapped and snared to 20. I have the exact number in my phone somewhere, but I don't know, it's pretty cool. I'm really hoping to catch a coyote or two during that bobcat short trapping series. What? Well, I'm starting to fall through. Okay, well, I'm going to show y'all the beaver lodge, and right here it is. So you can see the hole, you can see where I fell through right here, and I'm about to fall through again. The sticks back here, yeah. You still see the sticks that I kind of threw back there. At least, I think that's what those sticks are. They could just be the sticks that fell from those trees. Well, so the beavers have not come back yet, so that's pretty good. Maybe next trapping season they will. I like trapping beavers, but really don't want beavers in this lake. Alright, I got this stuff. And, you know, I'm crossing this little creek right here, but this thing, I saw it, like, just this end, I would say, that's high-level pollution. Well, when you look over here, you just see, that's just the color of the dirt or whatever. I don't know why there's rainbow stuff in it. I really don't know why this looks so nasty and polluted, because there's nothing really up there. It's just nothing but woods. This actually, when the beavers had it dammed up right here, it's actually, I would be standing in water right here, but I don't know. Let's see. Oh, over there's that muskrat trap I was going to show y'all. It's right there. You see the carry and the trap. Have it over here because it just seemed really muskratty. You see that beaver dam right there, and up that beaver lodge right there is where I have that other otter trap. So over here looks pretty good because there's like, looks like cubbies in the bank. All right, so I'm gonna go home, so I'll catch you guys back tomorrow when I'm checking these traps. I don't know what's gonna happen. All right, it's the next day. So right now I'm over by the cage trap. I'm gonna check the cage trap before I check these muskrat traps. And it looks like the wind or something blew off all the grass on it, but we didn't catch anything in it. Yeah, I can't even see the bait. Snow got in it and kind of covered it all up. So I don't know why the grass all blew off. Well, anyway, let's go check these muskrat traps. There's that trap, and you can see the trap is kind of frozen on the water right there. So yeah, we didn't catch anything in that trap. But over here, haven't been able to tell if we caught anything. Probably gonna have to go down this. I'm just gonna sit down so I don't fall. All right. No, I still see that trap. All right, well, nothing over here. I'm gonna go check that beaver swamp now. That's gonna be lots of hiking through the snow. You know, on my way back to get the camera on that shot, I realized I didn't fix my cage trap. So I'm gonna go over there and fix it because that's literally what trapping is. It's fixing what doesn't work. So going back over here, I'm gonna set the grass all on top of it again, put some new bait in there.
But I know I heard you call it in the grief and in the dark. Take me down or take me out, but I won't give up now. I'm saying, come on, lay your light shine down. I've been stuck in.
You know, it's kind of frozen together. I can just grab a chunk of tuna and just kind of throw it back there.
Shine down. I just wanna get out. I just wanna get out. Come on, lay your light shine down. I've been stuck in these clouds. Just wanna get out.
All right. already. Now it's time to go to the beaver swamp.
Just wanna be found. All the rivers been rising, and the storm's been screaming out. But you keep me from capsizing, and the sun is coming out. Take me down or take me out, but I won't give up now. I'm singing, come on, lay your light, shine down. I've been stuck in these clouds, just wanna get out.
Alright, so nothing at that otter trap.
Nothing in this muskrat trap. Then I don't think we have anything in this conibear down here. But one thing is the conibear isn't frozen since it's under the water pretty good. So, you know, it's just pretty cool. It can still be working while my other traps tank. So this is down there in the thawed out water. Whatever you call it, the not frozen water. How thick is this? Oh, no, that's not thick at all. Huh. What is this? Is this just like, oh, that's that like mush. And it kind of looks like styrofoam. Huh, I think that's sleet that's mixed in with it. Anyway, that's the last of my traps.
This video series and the short series is going to be really fun to make. So if y'all want to support this series, just hit the like button and re-watch this video and click it and re-watch it all the way to the end, and that gives this video some really good stats. And subscribe so you don't miss any more upcoming videos. But I'll see y'all guys next video.